Okay, so everybody's buzzing about this, right? This whole Tiger Woods Vanessa Trump thing.
It's certainly grabbed everyone's attention.
Yeah, so obviously Tiger Woods, the golf legend.
Icon.
Yeah, icon.
Absolutely.
And Vanessa Trump, the ex-wife of Donald Trump Jr. And it kind of hit the radar.
Yep.
In a very public way.
Very public.
Through Tiger Woods' own Instagram post.
Yeah. And, I think that's what's so interesting about this right off the bat is that Tiger has been famously private
Yeah.
about his personal life.
Right.
So for him to come out and make a very public statement like this, it definitely raises eyebrows.
Yeah, and to do it on social media, no less.
On social media where anything can happen.
Yeah.
Wow.
It really does make you stop and think like, okay, this is significant.
It is.
And since we have the information right from the source, I think that, our mission here is to really sort of like get to the core of what this announcement means, what it tells us. And what we can maybe learn about this whole situation.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So yeah, I mean, it started with these photos.
Okay, so you've got the photos.
Yeah, 2 photos on Instagram.
Looking pretty cozy.
Yeah, looking pretty cozy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Tiger Woods, who's 49, and Vanessa Trump, who is 47.
Okay.
And the caption is really interesting.
Yeah, what does it say?
It says, "Love is in the air and life is better with you by my side. We look forward to our journey through life together.
Wow. Okay.
At this time, we would appreciate privacy for all those close to our hearts."
Interesting.
Yeah. So, this kind of like public display, but also asking for privacy.
Yeah, that's the thing that kind of jumps out at me immediately. It's this real tightrope walk
Yeah.
between putting it out there for everyone to see and then immediately saying, but please give us our space.
Right.
So it's almost as if they're trying to control the narrative from the get-go.
Yeah.
By announcing it themselves, it kind of like heads off any leaks or rumors or speculation.
Right.
But at the same time, they're drawing a very clear line.
Yeah.
That they want to keep things private.
Yeah. And, this is a very different approach for Tiger.
It is.
Than we've seen in the past.
Yeah.
He's had these very high profile relationships in the past that have been just, media frenzies. And this feels much more
strategic.
Yeah. Like very carefully.
Deliberate.
Yeah.
Like they've really thought about this.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do this on our terms.
Yeah. And it really makes you wonder, has Tiger Woods kind of like reached this point where he's okay with
being more open.
Yeah, being more open about his personal life.
Yeah, but only on his terms.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so how did this all come about? Like how did Tiger Woods and Vanessa Trump meet and, become a couple?
Right. Well, from what we understand, they started dating around Thanksgiving of last year.
Okay.
And a big part of that seems to be that they both live in Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay. Makes sense. Proximity,
Exactly. Close proximity.
Yeah.
Increases the chances of running into each other.
Yeah.
But it goes beyond just location. Their kids actually go to the same private school.
Oh, wow.
The Benjamin School.
Okay.
And Vanessa's daughter, Kai, who's 17 and a pretty good golfer herself.
Oh, wow.
Is at the school with Tiger's kids, Sam and Charlie, who are teenagers as well.
So it's the school connection.
Yes.
That's often, a way that parents connect.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, especially at that age.
Yeah.
You're very involved in your kids' lives.
Right.
You're going to school events. You're seeing each other.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, they've been spotted at different golf tournaments.
Yeah.
So, with Kai being interested in golf.
Right.
And obviously Tiger,
Mr. Golf.
Mr. Golf, exactly.
Yeah.
They're kind of in those overlapping worlds.
Right.
So there were probably a lot of opportunities for them to connect.
Right. And for a relationship to kind of like organically
develop.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about this whole like announcement and the privacy thing.
Okay. Yeah.
It seems like a contradiction.
It does a little bit.
Like you're announcing something so personal to millions of people.
To the world.
Yeah. And then immediately saying like, but we want our privacy.
Right.
Like, what's the thinking there?
Well, it's a tricky thing.
Yeah.
A lot of people in the public eye try to do this.
Right.
Even Tiger, think back to when he was dating Lindsey Vonn.
Yeah.
He made a very similar public announcement.
Right.
And it seems like it was probably a way to just kind of get ahead of the story.
Acknowledge it. Yeah.
And also try to manage all the media attention that comes with that.
Right.
So it may be that he's learned from past experience.
Yeah.
And is trying this approach again.
Yeah, to kind of like set the
Set the
boundaries.
boundaries up
Yeah.
front.
Yeah, like here's the headline,
Here's the
but
headline,
leave us alone.
but leave us alone.
But don't dig.
Yeah, don't dig any deeper.
Exactly.
And it's interesting that, yeah, their families are already connected.
Right. It's not like they're coming from completely different worlds.
Yeah, through the kids.
Yeah.
And that, that feels like a significant thing.
It does.
Yeah.
That shared experience
Yeah, yeah,
of, being parents involved in the school,
yeah,
their shared interest in golf.
yeah.
All of that suggests that there's some common ground there,
Right,
some shared values.
right.
And that can be really important in a relationship.
Yeah, yeah. And, both Tiger and Vanessa have had their fair share of public scrutiny,
Yeah, for sure.
albeit in very different ways.
Yeah, in different ways, for sure.
Oh,
I mean, Tiger's entire career
oh yeah,
has played out on a very public stage.
right. With the highs and the lows, you intensely scrutinized.
Yeah, yeah.
Vanessa, while, being connected to a very high-profile family,
Yeah.
has kept a bit of a lower profile.
All right, especially since her divorce.
Especially since the divorce. Yeah.
Yeah. But she's certainly no stranger
No stranger to public life.
to the spotlight.
To the spotlight. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So they both kind of know.
They know the game.
Yeah, they know the game.
They know how it works.
And the fact that they were able to keep this relationship under wraps
Right.
until they were ready to announce it.
That says something
That's a lot, yeah.
about how they're trying to manage their lives
Yeah,
in the public eye.
yeah, yeah. So what's been the reaction? I mean, I imagine social media is,
Oh, it's exploded
yeah,
with
yeah,
comments and reactions.
Yeah.
You've got everything from people who are genuinely happy for them, and
Right.
wishing them well,
yeah.
to people who are, making jokes and just kind of having fun with it.
Like, what kind of jokes? What are people saying?
Well, there were a lot of comments about Tiger's caption.
Okay.
Like, some people were saying it sounded like a divorced dad announcing a new relationship on Facebook.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Others were poking fun at the fact that they asked for privacy right after making a very public announcement.
Yeah. Right.
Typical social media,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
taking something and running with it.
Yeah.
But you can also sense a lot of curiosity about whether this is going to last.
Yeah.
Like, people are intrigued
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
by this pairing.
Right. So where do they go from here?
Right.
What's next? Tiger is dealing with this Achilles injury.
Yes, he is. He had surgery recently to repair a ruptured Achilles tendon.
Oh, wow.
So he's going to be out of commission for a while.
Yeah.
Rehabbing.
Maybe having, yeah.
Getting back into shape.
Yeah. So is this a good time for him to focus on his personal life?
It could be.
Mhm.
Yeah, obviously his recovery is going to be a priority. But this time away from competitive golf
Right.
could give him space to really, focus on this relationship.
Right. And for Vanessa, this is her first high-profile relationship since her divorce.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal for her.
That's a big step.
Yeah.
And while it sounds like things started out pretty casual,
Right.
there are some signs that it's becoming more serious.
Oh, yeah.
Sources close to them describe them both as level-headed,
Mm-hmm.
people who don't like drama.
Right.
So that could definitely help create a strong and lasting bond.
Right. So it sounds like maybe they're looking for some
Stability.
stability and normalcy.
Yeah.
As much as you can have when you're
Tiger Woods.
when you're Tiger Woods and Vanessa Trump.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Tiger Woods and Vanessa Trump, it really does raise some interesting questions.
It does.
For you listening out there, given their past experiences, could this be a chance for both of them to kind of have a fresh start?
It's a good question.
Yeah. What is this whole announcement and the request for privacy?
Right.
Tell us about how public figures are trying to manage their image.
Their narrative.
Yeah.
In this age of, social media and
24/7 news cycle.
24/7 news cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much of a factor are these shared family connections
Right.
in high-profile relationships like this? There's a lot to think about.
There is.
And I think, that's the point of these deep dives, is to go beyond just the headlines.
Absolutely.
And really, look at the context.
That's the full picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks for diving deep with us.
It's been a pleasure.
And until our next exploration,
We'll see you then.
take care.
Bye.